I'm alive. Bet you probably thought you wouldn't see me for a while. Sorry to disappoint the haters, but I'm back once again to piss all of you snowflakes off. I was not planning on doing a video, but I recently watched something that may be viewed as controversial by some, although from what I've seen there is a lot of positive feedback on this. And it's not all from one specific group of people either, it's from multiple people of all different backgrounds. Not everyone has the same opinion on this video or agrees with everything said, which I think is very important to keep in mind. The video I'm talking about is the music video for Tom Macdonald's song Snowflakes. Now, I'll be honest, before today I had no idea who Tom Macdonald was. The way I now know who he is actually through none other than Miss Blair White. I uttered the name Blair White on this channel. People, the blasphemy I know. You know, I can hear the psychic gaffes now for mentioning such a controversial name. Another controversial figure. For those of you who do not know who Blair White is, she is a transgender YouTuber, an activist who is viewed as a controversial figure for her conservative views. I know, right? Transgender, conservative in the same sentence. I'm sorry, the blasphemy of it all. Like, if people are gonna be so mad at me for saying this, obviously I don't care. I'm not only subscribed to Blair White, but I do actually watch her videos, and I enjoy a lot of them. And I agree with some of her opinions. For those of you who are about to say, but you criticized her in an earlier video. Yes, I did, a while ago actually, and at the time I really didn't know her, who she was, you know, what her content was, or what she stands for. I can't say I know her more now. Do I 100% agree with all of her opinions? No, I don't. That's the beauty of differences of opinions and agreeing to disagree. You don't have to agree with the person's opinion, but you don't have to hate them for it either. Some of you probably think this is so mind-boggling and a contradiction. Just because you don't agree with or like everything a person says and does doesn't mean you can't agree or like some things about them, or have to choose between loving or hating them. There is such a thing as middle ground. Before I let this rant go any further, I'll say this one. Blair White is not a perfect human. I'm not. No one is. But do I like her and a lot of her opinions? And how she's not afraid to speak her mind and stands outside the crowd and completely embraces it? Yes, I do. Now that we've gotten that out of the way, let's get back to the topic at hand. Earlier in the week, Blair had been hinting at a big upcoming project she would be in. At first I thought it would be another interview because not too long ago she said she had something very important coming out, and it was an interview with a detransitioner who's featured on 60 Minutes. Or I thought it was going to be a video similar to the one she did with Vice, which that video was an honest shit show, by the way. Not because of her, it was such a one-sided opinion debate. Anyone who did not have a acceptable opinion was cut off or dismissed. That moderator did a shit job at moderating. If you go and watch it, just know that it's not a difference of opinions coming together and listening to each other at all. Anyway, moving on, just throwing that out there. Then I thought it might be a short film she was hinting at, or a TV show appearance of some sort. It wasn't until today that the mysterious project was revealed. As it turns out, Blair made a cameo appearance in Tom Macdonald's music video Snowflakes. Blair explained on her Instagram story how she was asked to be a part of the video. She felt very honored because Tom doesn't really have other people in his music videos. Blair had a really fun experience, she said. She's very comfortable on set. Tom's girlfriend was very kind to her, made her feel comfortable, and it was an overall joyful experience. So this is how I have come to learn of Tom. Full disclosure, yes, I did only watch the music video at first because Blair White was in it, as I'm sure many other people do with people they admire, but I'm not. I'm sure because it's Blair I'm talking about, someone is resisting their urge to bite their tongue. I did watch the music video and a couple reaction videos after that to the video, and I was just blown away. I honestly do not know what to expect after listening to the first couple of lyrics. I knew this was someone who speaks their truth, speaks their mind, and it's not just a one-sided truth, it's a truth for both sides. He brought up a lot of political issues amongst other social issues in the song, and I think it was important to include them. I don't agree with some of the lyrics and opinions in the video, but I do agree with a lot of others, and I understand a lot of the other opinions, and if I don't agree with them. I can understand why some people do and why they are present in the song. With that being said, I'm going to be watching the video again and then recommend pausing and expressing my opinions on some of the lyrics and views in the song video. People are probably already mad at this video. Well, you're about to get angry, so if you feel compromised already, I'd stop the video now and consider this your one and only trigger warning. If you do proceed, remember this is all just my opinion, and remember the fact that I'm not trying to convert you to anything, okay? With that being said, let's go. He's not wrong. He's not lying about that. There's Blair. Okay, so first opinion I'm going to be expressing about the gun control and pro-choice thing. I don't really agree with that. I do think there needs to be stricter laws on guns, like who can own them, more thorough background checks, and what type of guns certain people should be allowed to own. Now, that was just an easy intro right there. I'm about to throw this one at you. Liberals and conservatives are gonna be mad for this one, and I truly don't care. I'm pro-choice and pro-death penalty. I could feel the psychic gasps. I was pro-life when I was younger. Here's why I'm pro-choice now. Number one, I'm not suggesting everyone go to the abortion clinic around the corner because they're having a sale, okay? That's not what's happening here. I believe a woman has the right to her body, and no one, especially an old white politician who probably hasn't even been inside a woman in decades, has the right to tell a woman she can and can't do with her body. For example, if a young girl is 12 years old or younger or older and has been violated and left pregnant, she has the right to an abortion. Even an adult woman in a similar situation has the right to an abortion. Or if there's some medical complications and it's a life or death situation for the mother, she has the right to an abortion. Also, especially if there's no other way, if the abortion's the only way in that kind of situation, then that's unfortunately what has to be done. Also, just because someone is getting to or needs to have an abortion does not mean they want to. I'm not talking about being forced to by someone else. As I said, about medical reasons that may have to do so. And, the mother's life in danger. And that's the only way to say it. Also, it's no one's business what a person is doing with their sex slave. Don't automatically assume someone was not practicing safe sex. They could have been doing everything right, but for some reason, whatever form of birth control just failed. It happens. Honestly, the details of anyone's sex life are no one's business but their own. And I don't know why as society we have to try and keep making that like everyone's business. Like, it's ridiculous. Also, another thing I've noticed with people claim to be pro-choice, there's so much concern for making sure the fetus is brought to full term and that there's a birth, but where is the concern after the birth? When life has arrived to be lived, are there programs being offered help? Are you offering to help that mother? Are you giving them anything? Or are you just expecting them to, figure it out? Or are you shaming that person for they're parenting that child that they honestly didn't want to begin with? I find that to be a very big hypocrisy from the pro-life. So don't call yourself pro-life. You only care about the birthing, not the life. Therefore, you are pro-birth. No matter what the situation, whether the person was violated or not, or they're simply not ready to be a parent, even both, or trying to force someone who has been assaulted to go through a pregnancy resulting from that assault is so wrong on so many levels. Not only does it add more trauma going through with the pregnancy, but even after it's born, they are faced with having to raise their abuser child or put that child up for adoption and possibly live with the guilt of that decision. Beyond that, how do you know that no matter what choice the mother makes, the child is going to have a good life, whether the mother or an adoptive family / foster family can give them a good life? Also, how do you think finding out the circumstances of their birth will affect them? The trauma is passed on, it's generational. That's why I'm pro-choice. Now I'm going to get into why I'm pro-death penalty. A human being who has taken the life or lives of others or brutally assaulted another human being with no regard for human life, I do not feel as someone who has a right to live. That's just my opinion. Not in a humane way, that's for sure. It's a waste of tax dollars on keeping people who are on death row for years, wasting even more tax dollars on appeals than people who should be on death row alive. Putting them down humanely is a joke. They didn't take the time to handle their victims humanely or take their life with a smidge of humanity. In a sense, if with abortion at least you're stopping a possible evil life from being born. I do not believe anyone is born evil, but but raised and made into it. Monsters are not born, they are made. With the death penalty, even though it does not erase the suffering that has already been caused, at least you are removing a monster from the world. You are removing a monster from the world. I'd rather stop a monster from being made than having to end one after the fact, if that's the case. I value choice and free will, and I do not believe human beings with no humanity do not deserve the right to a humane existence or demise. Sorry for that rant, but just want to make that clear. We are not a perfect country, definitely have issues with racism and immigration. They are. We hate ourselves, and a lot of other countries hate us too. In this day and age, we are a joke to the rest of the world. I remember when they had to put a seizure warning for Breaking Dawn Part 1 when I was a kid. Everything is a trigger now, and it's ridiculous. Not everything needs to be taken so seriously. I understand why certain things are viewed as offensive or require a trigger warning. If there's something that may be triggering to survivors of abuse, then yes, that's appropriate. But people who are expressing opinions such as what kind of movies or makeup they're into, if you don't like them, then don't follow them. By the way, their hobbies and interests don't automatically define them as a person of a certain group or mean they agree or like certain people. I think you know what I'm referencing with that if you've watched my past videos. No, it's both Blair. Blair's face reveal was at the perfect moment because if you watch her videos, you know her opinions on pronouns. Also, he was pretty bold using the R word. You know what I'm talking about. Because that is a controversial word these days. There's obviously a lot of negative history attached to that word. I'm a psych major, so I know the negative history of that word as far as mental health goes. My mom actually called me that a couple times growing up when she was mad. Medically, that word should definitely not be used. I know how people use it as an insult. I understand how people are sensitive to that word. I personally don't like it or use it. I know what his intent was using the word here in the song. If people are refusing common sense when it's right in front of their face, then a lot of insults may find them, unfortunately. Really, no one should be hating anyone. Hate is not the answer. I refuse to hate anyone. I can have a strong dislike for certain people, but it takes a lot of energy to hate someone, and I choose to put that energy towards something else and for the better. And the whole Coca-Cola thing, I didn't even know that was a thing till this music video. Like I said, I don't have to agree, but let people say their piece. Elections are the absolute messiest, and it divides everyone. Black lives have always mattered, but when an election is involved, suddenly the volume is increased very high, especially by politicians when they need to get elected. Veterans deserve so much more respect than they get. The VA does nothing for them. They give everything for their country, and what do they get in return? PTSD, disdain, and denied assistance. The news is toxic. We all bleed red. And Blair looks so great in this music video. The system is set up for failure. But you can learn to beat it. I love that line. Okay, there is nothing wrong with dancing on the pole or OnlyFans. That's your choice, that's your life. No matter the reason for why or how you ended up on that pole. You're doing the best you can in life, that's what matters. OnlyFans didn't start as what it's known for. You can literally make any kind of content on there. Sex work just so happens to work the best on that website. If you don't want girls looking up to them, here's the thing, you're a parent, you choose how to raise them, so raise them right. And also, more, I would say, raise them not to judge other humans as well. Let them know how or why some women do that and guide them in life. Women are strong and beautiful, and we are not helpless damsels. As long as you are not hurting yourself or anyone else, or trying to push your views or life on anyone, then just live your life and be happy. We're drugging our kids, beating them shit, and hypnotizing them with technology. I agree with this. I am worried for future generations. If your patriotism involves hatred of any kind, then that's not patriotism anymore. It's something else, and there's many different words for it that you know. If you're black, your life matters. You're supposed to embrace it. If you're rich or you're smart, then you're probably Asian. If you're gay, then you're brave. All of that I'm okay with. But if you're white, the stereotype is you are a racist. Stereotypes are so damaging. Like, I'm Hispanic. Does that automatically mean I speak Spanish and don't clean your toilet? That's the reason things are tough. When you tweet from an iPhone and sip on a Starbucks, you're supporting what you stand against. You don't think you are, but a Percocet addict don't donate money to pharma. Damn, dog. Oh, the irony of capitalism is we are the contradiction. Us above, so below is the contradiction of belief. We're all afraid to speak the truth, and the more afraid we get, the more we hate the ones who do. You're ashamed to be American? Okay, that's cool. Because honestly, we are all ashamed of you too. Are we a perfect country? No. There's no one perfect country, but the opportunities in life that I am afforded to have here, I would not have in many other countries, and for that, I am grateful. Get along, but there's no stopping. Everybody's wrong, it's a real problem. They don't want to hear it, but they still talking. Soon enough, we running out of options. This ain't gonna end till it's in the coffin. Pride is the death of humans. One can admit they're wrong, but truly believing they're wrong is a rarity. Ain't gonna be friends till we try to squash it. I don't know how we can make amends when we drop it. Snowflakes melt when it's hot, kid. Y'all are so... If we all truly could see each other, not as the other side of something, but as human beings, that would be a miracle. Blair was so good in this video. Okay, I know I was mainly just expressing my opinions in depth on certain lyrics. Like I said, I rewatched the video. These are just my thoughts and opinions, not a manual for you to follow. Even though I don't agree with all lyrics, music and artists like him are important. I think humans such as him should have a larger role in mainstream media, but unfortunately people like him and like Blair, if you don't have a mainstream opinion, then you can't sit with the popular kids. I've listened to more songs from him, and honestly, I hope more people listen to his music, don't automatically judge him, and truly take the time to listen to what he's saying. Same thing with Blair White. No one's a perfect human. She has admitted and apologized for many of her past mistakes, but continues to fight for what she believes in, no matter if she is branded the black sheep. You can agree or disagree with my opinions. You have that right, but I spoke my truths and will continue to do so. I'm just a girl expressing my opinions in occasional every couple months videos on YouTube, and I don't mind being an a-hole if I need to sometimes. Alright, that's it for this video. Definitely go listen to Tom Macdonald's music, watch Blair White's videos, and feel free to subscribe if you like. Next time I have an opinion or something gets me mad and I need to rant, I'll be back. Until then, have a nice life.